Now, most effects that you apply will require you to animate them. If you want to follow along, open up Effects AEP and you can follow me. If I select this background layer here and preview that, you'll notice that the video of the dancing girl obviously is animated, and the bubbles are created by an effect which animates itself. The bubbles effect will go through a procedural animation without you having to set keyframes. But most effects require you to set keyframes. So in this lesson, I'm going to show you how we created the animated stripes in the background by animating properties in the Fractal Noise plugin. Now, if you want to follow along, open up O2 Animating Properties Composition from the project panel, and then select the background layer and hit E on the keyboard and double-click Fractal Noise to open it up. Now, at the moment, what I've done is I've just adjusted some of the properties, and if you want to see which properties I've adjusted, select the background layer, double-hit the U key, and you'll see that I've adjusted the fractal type to max, the noise type to block, contrast and brightness. So those are the only 4 things that I've actually changed for this effect in order to get these stripes. So now we want to animate them. Now, everything that you see with the stopwatch in the Effect Control panel is animatable over time. So we can animate contrast, brightness, complexity, and evolution is the most interesting one. You'll notice if I scrub the evolution value, it kind of just changes the noise over time and we get this kind of random kind of flickering effect. So we're going to first of all start by animating evolution. So we'll click on the stopwatch in the Effect Control panel to tell After Effects we want to start animating evolution. Now, obviously, we need to move to a new point in time. So we move the time marker to the end, and then we can just make a change to the property in order to create our new keyframe. Now, if you want to check a keyframe's actually being created, with the background layer selected, hit U on the keyboard and you'll see my first keyframe at 0. Now, I think we're just going to put 1 revolution of evolution in. So type 1 into the revolution field, and we should now see that noise animating over time. So that's just one property we've animated to create this kind of animated noise. So that's just one effect. We could also animate maybe Colorama. If I close up Fractal Noise and open up Colorama, we can actually animate between the current color and another color. So we could click to set a keyframe for our blue color. And then maybe what a good idea would be to do is to move to the end and set an identical keyframe and then make it go orange in between. Now you'll notice if I click on the stopwatch again up here, that's just going to remove my keyframes. Let's just watch that again. I'm just going to undo that. Hit U on the keyboard to see the keyframes. There's the keyframe I created at the beginning. I move to the end. If I click on the stopwatch, basically the clicking of the stopwatch is just actually removing or adding animation, same as how it happens down in the timeline. If we want to add a new keyframe, to lock it at this time, we actually click on the Add or Remove Keyframe at Current Time button, which is this one. So we have it blue or Caribbean at either side, and we'll move to the middle and we're just going to change the menu to choose our fire preset. And you'll see what happens now, if we play it, is it goes from blue to orange and back to blue. So we get this kind of looping colour effect. Now, I'm not really convinced that that works very well, so I can always remove it if I want to, but you get the idea of how you can animate multiple properties of multiple effects using the same kind of keyframing as you use for regular layers. So if I wanted to hold it on orange for a little bit longer, I can right-click on here and choose Easy Ease, and then of course go into my graph editor and make adjustments so that it holds on orange for a little longer. Okay, so exactly the same, using exactly the same principles as we used with keyframing the transform properties. You animate effect properties in exactly the same way. Now, it's pretty mind-blowing when you consider that every effect in that menu has several properties. So the idea of keyframing multiple properties can really blow your mind. I always say to people, if you imagine all the effects that you can apply and imagine being able to animate all those properties over time, then you have a massive expanse of possibilities creatively in After Effects.